How's it going, everybody? Landon here with TBS and the Truck Boss Show. Excited to be live on site here at GATS, day number 2. And I'm excited to be next to CO, someone I'm getting to know a lot better. CO, thank you for your time.
Well, you bet.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for your time to be able to tell us your story about how you got into trucking and more. So how long have you been in trucking?
It's about 75 years.
75 years.
I'm 79 now, so
explain that, because it was your dad that got you into trucking, isn't it?
My dad was a trucker, and he started in 1929.
Oh, wow.
And I was born in San Angelo, Texas, out west Texas.
I know where that's at.
And when the war broke out, Dad was upset about couldn't find drivers. That all there is out there is cripples and idiots and 16-year-old boys. And he said, I think I'll just sell out and we'll start over as soon as the war is over, you know. But just relaying the story, it was kind of funny before we had trouble. The way I got into trucking, and the way you know I was into trucking, one day my dad caught me out there while he was servicing the truck.
Right.
Had a hose in the fuel tank.
Okay.
I was putting water in the fuel tank.
Oh, no.
And my mother looked at him and he said, "Don't you say a word." So, you know, that's kind of a funny little start right there. But anyway, I grew up in trucking and everything. And
and what city you live in now?
Blum, Texas.
You've been there a long time.
I've been there 75 years.
Wow. It's a 4-year-old, 79, same house, same city.
Same house, same city.
And what's the city population?
I went to Blum School, Blum High School.
Right.
Graduated from Blum High School. Went to Tarleton State College for a year or so. And then went to Texas A&M University and got my degree in animal husbandry.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and about 2 months after I got out of college, there was a deal going on in our neighborhood hauling milk.
Right.
Not from the Dallas-Fort Worth area anymore, but to San Antonio, because the demand in San Antonio was so much higher than it was in Dallas-Fort Worth.
Right.
But they paid more money.
Right.
And like I said, about two months after I graduated, this deal popped up, and we were actually in the dairy business ourselves. And Dad said, he told me about, these guys got together and they wanted to move their milk to San Antonio.
Right.
He said, we got all the deals worked out but one.
Right.
He said, that's provided you and Joel Hawley.
That's awesome.
And Dad said, I got out of the trucking business. He said, well, you still got to move that milk. And I said, well, yeah, you're right. You have to bring hay in for your truck, for your cattle and whatever you're feeding. And I said, well, let's talk it over a little bit. I said, what's it really entail? He said, well, first of all, you have to probably equip yourself with twice as much equipment as you need, because you don't call a dairy farmer and say, Bill, I can't pick your milk up today because truck's in the shop. And that'll be the last load you haul.
That's right. That's
so
exactly right.
He said, that's good and bad about this.
Right.
He said, first of all, you always know where your next load's coming from.
That's good.
Because as soon as you get empty in San Antonio, it's bust back home, load up another one, back to San Antonio. 7 days a week, 365 days a year.
That's awesome.
But he said, you know where your source of income is coming from. You're not dealing with brokers. And he said, it's not a bad deal.
Right.
So I said, well, I'd like to give it a try. And he said, okay, I'll get back with the guys and tell them. And so Dad told him, and he said, well, when we're going to start? And he said, well, now. And Dad told Jack Taylor, he said, Jack, I don't have a milk trailer, a tanker, nothing. Y'all got to get some equipment. He said, well, get it going.
Right.
I said, okay. So
you got it going.
He put my fat little ass in the seat of a 427 Chevrolet truck and sent me to Springfield, Missouri to pick up a loaner milk trailer.
There you go.
Got back home with it, and we were trying to buy one, but it was being reconditioned, but it wasn't ready yet.
Right.
So it eventually became ready, and we got it, and we were expanding a little bit. Mm-hmm. And within 3 years, we had moved from just the San Antonio milk shed, but into South Texas,
right.
Houston, and one of the first loads he put me to hauling was Albert Lee, Minnesota.
There you go. That's cold up there.
Yeah, it is.
That's it.
And we started hauling milk from Albert Lee, Minnesota to Houston, Texas.
There you go.
Next thing you know, we got another deal going, and just kept growing and growing
right.
and growing and growing. Finally, about 1972, I would say, we got into, I could see the need for diversification.
Right.
You don't need to haul all your eggs in one basket.
No, even to this day, you don't want to do that.
So I wound up with a deal through one of the drivers I had hired to haul cut flowers.
There you go.
From San Carlos, California, too far away as Miami, Florida.
Wow, it's a long drive.
Long haul.
Yeah.
And we got on it with one truck. They liked what we did. He said, "We need another truck. Can you put another truck on?" Well, yeah. Give me a little time. And next thing you know, I had 12 trucks.
Went from 1 to 12.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
The beautiful part about this California to Miami haul,
right?
You never even pulled away from the dock when you emptied out in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
They loaded you right back up with cut ferns going right back to California.
There you go.
And when you got to
That's
California, you unloaded at the same place you're going to load to go back to Florida with. So you never had any empty miles.
Right.
And it was just an ideal deal.
That's awesome. CEO, we've got to shift gears because I want to ask you real quick.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing your story. I mean,
That's
it's
okay.
incredible to see how you just went from 1 truck to 12 trucks and the different hauls that you were able to get and new contracts. Great stuff. But I hear you are in Smoking the Bandit.
That's correct.
So you got to tell real quickly. We only have a couple minutes left here, but real quickly, tell that story. We want to hear it.
What actually happened, Overdrive Magazine had developed this outfit called Overdrive Roadmaster.
Right.
To help independent truckers, when the cops stop you out on the road, don't let them run over you.
Right.
And but we needed to add another trailer into the deal, and I couldn't find one anywhere except one dealer up in Minnesota said, "We've got one trailer sitting in Modesto, California."
Okay.
He said, "I'll make you a hell of a deal on it if you'll go out there and get it." Yeah, I'll go get it.
So you got it.
Yeah. I had become a member of Overdrive Roadmasters not too long before that, but I never had gotten my membership card.
Right.
And all that kind of stuff. And I said, well, while I'm out there, I'm going to go by his office downtown Los Angeles and, find out where's my, ID and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
He said, we misplaced it, and we knew that there was somebody out there, but we didn't know who it was.
Right.
He said, we finally know.
That's awesome.
So he and I consequently became very, very close friends.
Right.
And to go, make it fast forward on to about 1980, I got a call from Mike Parkhurst, the owner and editor of Overdrive Magazine. He said, I've got a little proposition for you. And I said, oh, okay. He said, Overdrive has been given the privilege of supplying 40 trucks to be used in the filming of a major motion picture. That's where
awesome.
that's what he said.
That's amazing
And
memory.
he said, "Would you be interested?" I said,
Right.
"Yeah, maybe." I said, "Just what kind of a major motion picture are you talking about?" He said, "Smokey and the
If
Bandit."
you only knew.
Yeah.
He
He
only
said,
knew.
he said, "Smokey and the Bandit."
That's
I
great.
said, "Are you kidding me?" He said, "No." He said, "It's the real deal."
That's awesome.
He said, "If you want to do it," he said, "I need you in Henderson, Nevada by 6 o'clock Friday with an empty trailer."
And you did it.
Yeah. And said, "We all have got you a motel room.
That's great.
We pay for the motel room. We pay you $300 a day."
That's not bad.
No, that's not bad to sit on your butt and drive a truck, a few little miles out
Be
there.
in the show, exactly.
And anyway, it escalated on up to wound up. He called me this morning in February.
Right.
He said, "I've got this proposition for you. Would you be interested?" And I said, "Sure." And he said, "Well, be there." But he said, "There's one little catch." He said, "Be there for 30 days."
Oh, wow. That's a big
said,
commitment.
I said, "Heck, I've got 30 trucks at home I've
Right.
got to run."
Right. Well, hey,
He said,
fast forward, and now you're in Smokey and the Bandit. You got
Yeah.
a story that nobody can take away. That's just
"That's
great.
right. It's on film. You can't
beat it.
deny it."
So
My
30
truck,
days.
my truck goes by the camera one time, so close that all you can see is the left-hand door on it, and it says "C.O. Bruce and Son, Blum, Texas" on it.
That's awesome.
And that was just
I'll have to look back in the film and see that. That'd be great.
That's Smokey 2, not
Okay.
the Smoke 1.
I got you.
And
Well, CEO, can't thank you enough. This has been so much fun to be able to hear your story, hear the awesome story about how you were in Smokey and the Bandit. Thank you so much for all your time on the road.
You betcha.
Your passion for the trucking industry. It's really, the pleasure's all mine and an honor to be able to sit down here and bring this to the Truck Boss Show. So thank you so much.
you bet you.
It's been great. Well, I'm Landon with the Truck Boss Show. We'll see you on the next live.